Greetings, everyone. As Auntie Jean said, I'm Makonnen Sankofa. I am the founder, stroke owner of the Black Book Show. Now, for those who are not familiar with the Black Book Show, the Black Book Show is a platform that I started 2.5 years ago now, just over 2.5 years ago. And it's a platform where I have virtual book tours, radio shows, podcasts. This is the Black Book Show, the virtual book tour. And I'm happy to say that over the last 2.5 years, I've had around 250 authors of African heritage from all over the world that have featured on the platform. You know, some in Africa, some in the Caribbean, some in Europe, USA, Australia, various different places. And on this particular Black Book Show, we're going to be listening to authors, you know, in a variety of different places. I'm in Ghana. I know some authors are in UK, USA, Canada, Nigeria. So we're going to be. It is an international platform, and we also have people, you know, listening internationally as well. The Black Book Show is a 3-hour show, and how it works is authors of African heritage, they get a certain time to talk about their book. So a variety of different genres as well. So some people, you know, written culture, some people have written children's books, some people have written history books. So people, you know, talk about a variety of different books. Authors will go on, they'll talk for, you know, 10 or 15 minutes about their book. We also have as well, sometimes we have booksellers. So Sister Lejet is a bookseller. Publishers, we've got Tolu A, Akinyemi, Tamara Foley, Wayne Hynes. So it's all book related. So some people are authors, some are both, some are authors and they also publishers, some are authors and they also offer services, but it's all book related. So some or people are just publishers on their own. So you listen to, you know, authors or the booksellers or publishing, but it's all to do with books, and it's all to do, you know, with authors or people in the publishing and the book industry who are of African heritage. So without any further ado, I'm now going to go on to the first speaker of the Black Book Show this evening. The first speaker of the Black Book Show is Dorraine Robinson. Dorraine Robinson is the author of the book called Grandad and Me. So Dorraine, if you would like to unmute yourself and turn your video on, we're just going to start with you. And, you know, please start by introducing yourself, saying, you know, where you're based, a brief introduction, and then tell us all about the book that you've written.
So as Makonnen said, my name is Dorraine Robinson and I am the author of Grandad and Me. So like I said, my name is Dorraine Robinson and I'm a graduate youth and community worker. I've had over 12 years experience of working with young people in the community setting, secondary school education, and within secondary school education, specifically safeguarding and pastoral care. And now I'm a children's author. I can add that to my list of titles. My book journey for Grandad and Me actually started back in November 2018, where one night I just couldn't sleep. And if you know me, I love to sleep. Like in my household, I'm called Sleeping Beauty because I like to get a nap in every now and then. So this particular night, I couldn't sleep. And what was going on in my head were just words, rhyming words, events and things that I used to do with my granddad when I was younger. So whilst I was in bed, I wrote all my notes and everything that was in my head, just dotted it down in my phone at the time. And these notes actually stayed in my phone for about a year. So up to about 1 year before I actually transferred my notes from my phone to a notebook. And then I eventually, from the notebook, I then kind of started to adapt and build a manuscript. I then kind of put that on hold. I didn't touch it for a while. And then it wasn't until last year, so this time last year, so December 2021, following a conversation that I was having with my therapist where we were talking about tapping into things that I previously enjoyed and just doing things that I like and kind of feel good about. And just the need to get back into that love of kind of doing for myself as opposed to doing for other people. And it wasn't until that conversation I thought to myself, let's actually get my book out there. So then I started researching for illustrators, publishers. I went onto YouTube to watch videos of how to get a book out there. And there are some really good self-help videos on YouTube. I then found a publisher called Danny Belcher. She is a publisher and she owns Conscious Dreams Publishing. So I found her via a Facebook group. And from that, I found my illustrator via Fiverr, and her name is Tosin Akinwende. We never actually met face to face, but she's based in Nigeria. But all my kind of notes, my draft scribbles and drawings, she actually was able to turn my thoughts and ideas into what now is Grander Than Me. So it's been about 3 months now that I've released Grander Than Me. I feel as though I'm doing quite well. My dreams or what I hope is that my book will go on to promote healthy relationships with grandparents and grandchildren. I also want my book to reintroduce hobbies into children's lives as opposed to them just sitting on devices. So when I say that, what I mean is throughout my book, there are a number of activities that I did with my granddad. So, for example, going to the allotment, cooking, cleaning, just what I would like young people to read my book and enjoy doing those things with either grandparents or parents if necessary. I also want my book to evoke important discussions about family and celebrate families, especially the elder generation, which I believe that young people are now taking taking it for advantage, having grandparents around. We don't realize how much wisdom, how much influence they have on our families. So I'm hoping that when young people and families read my book, that they'll take away those kind of learning key points. My book, Grander Than Me, was actually inspired by my very own close relationship with my granddad growing up. He was the head of the family. He had more of a presence in my life than my own father. So I felt it was a no-brainer to do a book about him. And yeah, he was just kind of my idol, my hero. And I hope when you pick up a copy of Grander Than Me that you can actually see and feel the love on each page. So in addition to my kind of full-time career and aside from my author journey, I also run a small business called Like Me For Me, which sells children's multicultural books and toys. So with that, I mean children's books that feature Black characters and Black families. So yeah, I can put in the chat where you can find or my Like Me For Me website where you can also find Grander Than Me via my website. I am available on Amazon, Waterstones, but as we all know, as independent authors, the royalties aren't so great when our customers purchase that direction. So yeah, I'm hoping that I've stayed within time, Makonnen. Thank you.
Yeah, you do have some extra time if you wanted to. You're within
Okay.
time, but it's up to you when you want to land. I'm just letting you know that.
All right. So let me. What I'll do is I'll read one or two pages from my book, Grander Than Me. Okay, so Grander Than Me. When we are together, we go for long walks just so we can talk. He loves the outdoors. My granddad is adventurous. When we are together, we visit his allotment. We sow potatoes, carrots, and peas. He never forgets to pick the weeds. My granddad is skillful. When we are together, he drops me to school. He always dresses really cool. My granddad is stylish. When we are together, we go for drives and talk about our past and present lives. He is my superhero. My granddad is amazing. When we are together, we buy sugary cakes and crispy chicken bakes. He always cleans my messy face. My granddad is caring. When we are together, we do chores and complete my homework. He calls it great teamwork. My granddad is helpful. So that's just a few pages from my book. And I'm actually from South London, and there's in my book, you can kind of get the feel of South London. So I mentioned Brixton Market in there, where I used to always go with my granddad, and just real life places and things that we used to get up to. So I'm hoping that everyone could maybe grab a copy of Grandad and Me.
That's wonderful. Could you just hold it up and just spotlight it so that you can so we can see it? Thank you. Because you did flick through the pages pretty quick. So
sorry.
it wasn't quick.
Let me show you.
So what age group or what age range?
So 5 to 8.
5 to
5
8.
to 8. Yeah, 5 to 8. At the back, it features a glossary, so to help young people develop their vocabulary and just learn new words. And I've also got a photograph here of my granddad at the back.
Oh, wonderful. And that's you. That's lovely.
Quite and value.
I know you're putting your details in the chat, but for the benefit for those on Black Culture Radio, could you also voice your contact details and your email address and that? Thank you.
Yep. So like I said, I'm a small business owner, and my business is called Like Me For Me. So that can be found at www.likemeforme.co.uk, and you can also follow me at Instagram. So like me for me _LDN. Yeah, and I'm most contactable from those two social media platforms. Thank you. And I'll put it in the chat.
Okay. Can you just repeat it? It's a bit slower, please, because it is hard to, to write down things quickly when somebody's saying it quickly.
No problem. So www.likemeforme.co.uk, and then my Instagram handle is likemeforme _LDN. N for November.
Okay. And 4 is the number 4, or is it 4? Is it 4?
May I know? Sorry. May I know? May I know why you chose the name? Like why the name Like Me For Me? Like,
okay, I'll just quickly answer Auntie Jean. So it's actually Like Me, FOR. So like the spelling.
Yeah.
Okay. So the reason behind my name, that's a good question. Behind the name of Like Me For Me, I wanted young people to pick up books and toys and games that reflect them, reflect their heritage, reflect their families, because it's really important that young people see themselves in the media, in the workplace, in toys that they play with. So with that said, young people are going to pick up the items that I sell and just think to themselves, this is like me. So that means it's for me. Yeah.
Wonderful.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Put it in the chat now.
Good evening, everyone, and it's great to be on the Black Books Show. Good evening, Auntie Jane, as well, and thank you for being a wonderful host. My voice might not be too clear because I'm actually dealing with like winter flu, but like Makonnen has said, I have authored 18 books so far, and my 19th book will be out on the 1st of January 2023. I am a multiple award-winning author. I write in the genres of poetry, short stories, children's literature, and essays, and I'm based in Newcastle upon Tyne. I am the founder of the literary imprint, The Roaring Lion Newcastle, also publisher at, also the co-founder of Lion and Lilac. Lion and Lilac is a literary magazine committed to publishing works of writers from across the globe. And Lion and Lilac was founded early 2020. I am also the founder of the Newcastle Review. The Newcastle Review is a literary organization, media that is committed to publishing literary news on the Tyne and beyond. And for the Roaring Lion Newcastle, we are committed to publishing works published by Black writers, Black writers everywhere across the globe. And we are always open to welcoming works of Black authors, as earlier mentioned. Yeah, so in terms of the work I will be showcasing this evening, that would be my forthcoming, my collection of poems scheduled for release on the 1st of January 2023, titled You Need More Than Dreams. So this is a collection of poems for young people, and I'll read the synopsis before I read a couple of poems from the book, just to give context to what the book is about and what young people are to expect when they read the book and get the book as well. So You Need More Than Dreams is a collection of didactic and instructive poems targeted at young people and teenagers. Childhood and teenage years are formative. During this time, whatever habits, choices, and decisions one makes have a way of directing the course of one's life. Their impact can be lasting. It is for this reason that the poet has written this collection, to help younger generations navigate this sensitive time. More than being a handbook, the poems also mirror the experience of teenagers, their fears, concerns, and fantasies. Yeah, so that's the brief synopsis about the collection of poems You Need More Than Dreams, which I've written to help young people to navigate the teenage part of their life, and by mirroring their experiences, their fears, and their concerns. So I'll read through poems from the collection, and the first one that we'll read is titled Perfect Team. Yesterday's rain was a drizzle, soft, calming. Today, it's lightning and the angriest thunder. I wanted to be a perfect thing, but life itself isn't spelled that way. The expectations of perfection from imperfect people is draining and drives me to the edge. Last night, I scribbled these words on paper. Perfect things do not exist. Today, I made a vow to be the best version of myself. That's the first poem reading from the book tonight. And this next one is titled Vulnerable. Come like the morning dew, with blemish and stain, who has no transgression, no dirty laundry. Come in your vulnerable states, with flaws and openness, who lay claims to perfection, has not had their resilient walls knocked down by life's falls. Let us spark, come vulnerable, like a naked wire. And the last one I'll be reading tonight is titled 16 and Extinct. And this was written after M.D. Mosley, a black heritage rapper who was murdered in Manchester due to gang violence. This is a purification in the solemnity of a falling star, of falling stars, plural. Or we are cleansing our space of shattered dreams. Who bewitched us all? Who thought it was okay to erode our shining stars? These tragedies are becoming widespread maladies. It's made the ambience funereal and our streets a memorial of premature death. So that's the last one. And basically the idea with You Need More Than Dreams is to help young people see like the issues, the challenges. There are so many challenges teenagers face: peer pressure, teenage fantasies, issues around dreams and aspirations. And so it's just a collection of poems that just mirrors the whole teenage experience and aims to help young people navigate this this chapter of their life. So that's what the book is about. And the collection of poems will be released officially on the 1st of January 2023, and it will be available for purchase on all Amazon marketplaces, all Barnes & Noble bookstores, bookshop.org, on my own website, toludo.com, on my publishing imprint, the Roaring Lion Newcastle.com, and everywhere else where books are sold. So thank you very much, Makonnen and Auntie Jane, for the opportunity tonight, and keep up.
You're more than welcome. Can you repeat what you're saying as your book's a little bit more clearer, so for those on the radio can catch it?
You said what?
Your contact details and how people can get your book.
Yeah, so people can get my books on all Amazon marketplaces, on my website, toludo.com, on my publisher's website, the Roaring Lion Newcastle.com, and I'm on Facebook at Tolu A Akinyemi. That's my Facebook page. I'm on Instagram at Toludo, and I'm on Twitter as well at Tolu Akinyemi and Toludo as well. So you can reach me in any of those.
No problem. Hello. Just
Yes.
not to interrupt. So it's best you post it on the comments instead of mentioning. It's difficult actually to hear and write down.
Yeah, I'll definitely post it. Yeah, I'll post it.
Okay, thanks a lot for that.
Yeah, but for the people on the radio, it's really important that you read out or spell out your name or any words that people on the radio may be listening. They need to have the clarity. So you will need to spell certain words so they get the correct spelling.
Yeah, so basically, if they just type into Google the Lion of Newcastle, Tolu, the Lion of Newcastle, they can find out information about me, or the Roaring Lion Newcastle.com.
Okay.
Every information about the publisher's imprint, and yeah, but if you put in Google Tolu, the Lion of Newcastle, every information about me, about my books will definitely pop up.
Excellent. Are you going to put it in the chat as well?
Yeah, I'll put everything in the chat here for everyone to be able to access. Yeah, but my website is Toludo, TOLUDO.com, Toludo.com. And I'm on Instagram at Toludo, on Twitter at Tolu Akinyemi, and at Toludo as well.
Can you see me?
Yes, you can see you.
Okay, I'm using my phone. I'm Marcia Spence. I'm based in Birmingham in the UK, and I've actually just got back from Manchester. I've been in Manchester in the UK for the weekend. We had a book launch, which was for a memoir that we published for a gentleman called Mr. Stanton Anthony Holder. Life, Wonderful Life. You can find it on Amazon. And he is actually, I thought he was 80, he's actually 86 years of age. We work with authors of all ages and specialize in working with people who want to write a memoir or an autobiographical book. And the process we go through is we incorporate coaching skills with the authors so that we can pull out their story. So rather than being vague, and just touching on subjects, we actually pull back and peel back that onion, so layer upon layer in order to get the depth of their story. And so we work across, we've got clients all parts of the UK. We also work internationally. So, because we can work online, we work across the world with any author to help them to develop their story, to tell their story, to write their story. And we provide editing, we provide proofreading, we provide training as well, as Makonnen said. So we also have MM Academy. My company is called Marcia M Publishing House. You can Google it and you will find it. We have the academy where we want to ensure that our authors can maximize and optimize the sales and that they can reach their target reader. And we do a lot of work initially on identifying, why are you writing this book? What is the purpose of the book? What are the key messages that you want to deliver to the world? And so we spend time examining that with the author. Sometimes the author arrives with a full written manuscript, but we still do some, we do alpha reading, beta reading. We provide feedback in order to develop the story so that it's a better and more, more fulfilling reader experience. We want that when the reader picks up the book, they're engrossed, and so they'll continue to read. We don't want the reader to pick up a book, read the first couple of pages, and then put the book down. We want to create page turners. We want to create books that people will go back to, that people will recommend to other readers as well. And so, yeah, we have a community of authors that we provide training and development. We work on author brand as well. So really developing your author brand. What is your message? What is your message to the world? How are you going to utilize this product, this book that you have created, this authorship, this authority that you have created? Whether it is, we also work on books for business. So lead generator books, we help to write, and we have illustrators that can illustrate books for children, the whole range of genres. We don't do erotica, and we don't do witchcraft, for example, but apart from those topics, a whole range of fiction and non-fiction. As I've said earlier, my specialism though is memoirs and autobiography. And I also want to tell listeners about another program that we have. So we do have the social media training happening on the 22nd of January. People who, especially self-published authors or authors whose books have been published by a small press publisher will still need to market their books, will still need to hone and develop some skills in marketing. The alternative is something that you can buy these services. You can find social media managers and pay them to promote your work. However, having that knowledge, and so through the training, at least what you can do is you'll have information, you're making informed choices when you select someone to do your social media promotion. So that's the focus that we're focusing on in January, alongside Makonnen using his book, which has been fantastic, and a number of our authors have copies and are using the copies in order to promote their books. Before I go, I just want to tell you about a challenge that we're also starting on the 9th of January. And we only want a cohort of 10 people, and we have 8 people signed up. And so it's a 30-day challenge to kickstart your memoir in the new year. We are running 5 Zoom sessions on Mondays, starting on the 9th of January, and they're in the evening. So it's UK time. It will be GMT. And the results of that, and I'm just going to get the details so I get them right. You will have written your book synopsis, your book blurb, you would have written your author bio. You will also have planned your chapter headings, what you're going to write about within that. You'll identify your primary audience. So again, that's looking at your reader. You'll examine your why. So we go through a process for that and clarify the key messages that you want to convey. The thing is, if you don't know why you've written your book and you don't know who you've written it for, then even when you're speaking on a platform like this or anywhere on an interview or just one-to-one, you know, you're not going to evoke the interest in other people if you're not confident about what is this book about, why you've written it. At the end, you would have completed an easy to follow plan and guide for you to write your first draft. You will have written your first chapter and you will have feedback on your first chapter and how you can develop that to make it a better, solid read. But I'm not looking for anyone to join this. I need people who are serious about writing and publishing their story. If you really want to get it done in 2023, then this is a kickstart. People who want to self-actualize, you know, writing a book, especially writing a memoir or autobiography, is something on many people's bucket list. It's also a way of leaving your legacy, because you are leaving your story for your family. You are also impacting communities. You are creating history, especially the history of Black people, Black people's history, the stories of, you know, stories that have happened, life that's happened in the last 100 years. We want those documented within these books. You will have, everyone has important wisdom to share with the world. And so we do charge for this. With the way we run it is 5 Zoom sessions on a Monday, and they will be 90-minute sessions in a group setting. And there will be delivery of some input, some teaching to help you. You will also do some work within the session, and there's an opportunity to mastermind within the group. Then it includes some one-to-one book strategy work with me, and you'll get your written feedback and you will have a plan. You'll get homework every week, you'll have tasks to do, and you'll have a workbook. And we're charging £249 for each place. This will guarantee, I'm giving my guarantee, that at the end of the 30 days, you will know what you're doing and how you're structuring your book. So if anyone's interested in that, just contact me. I've already put my email in the chat. You can find me if you Google Marcia M Spence or Marcia M Publishing House or Marcia M Publishing. You can find me on TikTok, Facebook. I also have another brand called The Author's Midwife. And this is what I'm emphasizing. I can guarantee you that at the end of the 30 days, you'll be very clear about where you're going with your memoir, your autobiography, your non-fiction book. So it's a bit of an advert break, Makonnen and Auntie Jean. It's just letting people know, rather than telling my story all the time, it's letting people know what we do and what we're offering. I'm very, very passionate about the work that I do. And I want to work with the right people who are ready and determined to get their autobiographical book done, written, and probably, you know, written. I'm not going to say published, but written in 2023. And the thing is, if you do the challenge, you don't have to publish with us. You can go on and get a traditional deal. You can go on and do whatever you want, even if you wanted to publish it yourself. So that's the end of my advert break. It's Marcia M Spence and it's Marcia M Publishing House. And my email is info@marciampublishing.com. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for listening.
Hi, everyone. So happy to be here. I am in the United States of America, and I am in the Midwest. So I am in the Chicago, Illinois area. So today I'm going to just introduce some products in our Cassie's Big Change line. And then I want to talk about our publishing company. So this is the latest book of Cassie's Big Change, going from the living room to the classroom. And this book really talks about self-awareness, responsible decision-making, really helping to formulate friendships, sharing the importance of friendships with children. This book is written from a child's perspective. And this is the second in the series, but there's also a Cassie's Big Change, How COVID-19 Changed the Way We Learn, which is the first book, and a coloring and activity book following that. But we also have some other products too that complement the book. So in the book, Cassie has a bear that she's formulated and that she's called Maggie. And Maggie is her grandmother's name. So she's doing her bear in memory of her grandmother. And this is just a small gift that you can buy on our website for children, because you know bears or stuffed animals really help children, and they help them when they're feeling lonely. They help them, just to be creative, and they also provide comfort for children. Also, we have Cassie's Big Change feeling cards, and all of this complements the book because the book is focused on emotions, feelings. How are children feeling? How are children feeling when they left home, going back to the classroom? How is it now being with your friends? So you have 2 sets of cards, one for each book, and it can be found on our website. Now, the bear, Cassie's Big Change pen, all of these things can only be found on our website. The website is cassiesbigchange.com. cassiesbigchange.com. And every book that is purchased on the website is autographed. And if you would like a special message for a child that you are gifting it to, or a library, or a teacher, and we also have teachers. This is a great holiday gift for teachers. We have a teacher's package where the teacher gets the books in addition to lesson plans to help teach the book in their classroom. And also, I have Garwell Publishing. And I want to just tell you about Garwell. Garwell is the intersection of honoring my mother's family and my father's family. And so I put them together because, again, they are who I am. And so Garwell Publishing, we help authors, whether you're a first author or a published author, to go from the manuscript to the book. And we offer many services, and you can find them on our website at Garwell, GARWELL, publishing.com. GarwellPublishing.com. And we can, if there's a service that you're looking for that's not on there, please feel free to DM me or fill out the contact on the website, and I will get in touch with you. And so we're so happy. We do have a couple of seats open to finish out the year if you're interested. And we will have 3 openings in January. So these slots go fast. So please, if you're looking to publish a book and you're looking for help, you're looking for just to get you through the process, we are here for you. And thank you so much to everyone. I've been listening to all of your books and all of the great things that you are doing in the world. And I am so excited to hear. I love all of your books, and often buy books from this platform to gift to others. So thank you, Makonnen. Thank you to Auntie. And thank you so much for allowing us to share this information and for having this platform. Have a great day.
Thank you very much. Your illustrations are beautiful. I can see that there. What's the character's name?
Cassie.
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 Oh, wow. That's
Okay,
wonderful.
thank you very much. That was Tamara Foley. And Tamara Foley, as I mentioned earlier, she is one of the sponsors of the Black Book Show. If you would like to feature on the Black Book Show, if you're an author or you are a publisher or bookseller, or if you're a Black business owner, but you would like to feature on the show to promote your services or your book, please contact me. It is info@blackbookshows.com. That is info@blackbookshows.com. I'm also going to put that in the Zoom chat.
Okay, so I am Veronica Brooks, actually Dr. Veronica Brooks, but I just like to be called Veronica, actually. And I am based out of San Antonio, Texas. And the new books that I am going to talk about is The War Within, which is a memoir of my life story. And I really went in deep I just let it all hang out. So I'm free, So it just, sometimes you have to let people know where you came from and how you became successful. And I think it'll be beneficial for, just all walks of life. And then the other book that this is the book here with The Warrior Within. And then, I don't know if you guys can kind of see that, but, and then the other one is Motivational Therapy. So I'm just going to give you just a little bit of insight about The Warrior Within. And if you want to contact me, you can contact me at www.veronicabrooks.com. That's it. Just go straight there and you'll connect with me pretty much everywhere. And that's Veronica Brooks, VeronicaBrooks.com. So The Warrior Within, like I said, is a memoir of myself and my whole life story from, the beginning basically to the end. And my life was just a little bit different because I started off on the wealthy side of life, and then other things occurred because of illnesses with my father and things of that nature. And then I want to talk about the things that happen when, you lose people that you're so close to and you're about to give up. But the thing is, that's the part where you do not give up. And that was part of my life story, because I had the greatest parents in the world, but yet when my father was getting sick, they had to send me to stay with a sibling. So usually when you go stay with other people, you have to meet new people. And this was a shock to me because the way I grew up, it was night and day, and you get really quiet. So there was a lot of trauma throughout my teenage years. And then later on, after coming back to be able to reach out to actually my own self, reaching out to my own self in order to talk to other people. So I'm just going to read just a little bit about on the back of the narrative of what the book is about. So in the blink of an eye, Veronica M. Brooks went from basking in her glory, charm, and heavenly childhood to the dark depths of hell. Veronica's life was turned upside down when she was sent to live with a family member to help out for the summer. When the summer came to an end, Veronica's father became dangerously ill, and her overwhelmed mother was forced to extend her stay. As seasons changed, so did conversations about Veronica returning home. Meanwhile, her parents were completely oblivious to the consent of dysfunction, abuse, manipulation, and cult-like behavior that Veronica was experiencing. As her father's doctor's visit became a commonplace for her parents, going home was no longer an option, and things only worsened. In fact, the horrific events changed Veronica's life completely. She found herself trapped in the hands of hysteria, but still she remained silent. Her unwillingness to speak up has led to a lifelong bout with psychological stress and trauma. So this is what this book is about, and it is very inspiring, I believe, to others, to let them see about who Veronica really is and what traumas that I did go through, but I did come out to be successful on the end, because I am a 4-time author, a writer, and going through these challenges helped me to really seek out the things that I wanted to do. And oh, by the way, in December, I've been married actually for 40 years, and we just kind of celebrated yesterday. So
congratulations.
That was one of the greatest things of my life, because my husband is so awesome. Thank you so much. It was just, you know, the inspiration even with him. And it's always good when you have somebody that supports you and knows the in-depth about your life, and you can live a true life and move forward and move on. So, let me see. Yeah, that's about it, you know, because I broke this book down into, I broke it starting with the heaven, and then I went on, you know, on down to the hysteria part. I talked about the life of it, and then I went down into the very part to succeed. So on that note, if you have any questions right now, and if here again is the title of it, and I will be releasing this before the end of December, you know, because everything is already done. It's already been written. Everything is actually ready. But I was reading also Makonnen's book, you know, the process on how you have to go, and then you start, the best way to start when you get ready to sell your book as well. Because the other 2 books that I wrote early on, which was about wealth, I sold all those books because I went out speaking, and I was speaking with none other than Les Brown. And I sold a lot of, on that part, I had to go out. It was a lot of work, always setting up and always going different places all overseas. So on the first book that I had wrote, I had sold about 20,000 books, but they were all overseas, which I am from the United States of America. And then it came from me doing speeches and things like that, and setting up constantly. It was very intense. And then the second book that I wrote, I sold about 10,000 of them, but that came from going out speaking, and I would sell all my books after I would speak. So with that said, I'm going to go on to the next book that I had written, which is going to be released, is Motivational Therapy, which I don't know if people are going to need the therapy before or after they read my book, because it does get intense. And also, I forgot to mention that I will be doing a movie from my memoir with my producer, which will be bringing on, I believe, Morris Chestnut, the movie done, and get that success part as well. So going on to motivational therapy and what that is about. Motivational therapy comes from all my quotes throughout many years. And the quotes are all to build up for people to succeed. And these were quotes that I used on myself to get myself through all the trials and the traumas in my life, because sometimes you feel like you want to give up, and then sometimes you're afraid. It's like, can I really do this? Can I really go on and succeed in what I know I need to succeed? But you know what? I said, okay, let me just really focus on the quotes, things that my dad told me about, things my mom told me about. I had the greatest parents in the world, and it was difficult for me when I lost them, you know, young age, losing my mother, my father, and my brother. But these quotes really helped me to succeed. So I want to read one of the ones that I truly enjoy, and it talks about shake it off. And shake off, and the quote is, shake off fear, intimidation, procrastination, and hesitation so you can move on to your destination, your dreams. So is there a closet cremistic living within you? And what I mean by that, many people are not successful in many things that they try to do because they have a closet cremistic mentality. A closet cremistic is a private worry ward. And I was that. I worried about every little thing. And I was doing it privately. Someone who worries without letting others know. These people put a brave face when they are in the public, but when they are alone, they worry themselves to death about the things that have assumed responsibility. For this stops them from achieving their dreams and goals. The consequences of being a closet cremistic are manifested in various ways, such as past failures, fears of facing the future, inability to own up to new responsibilities, and so on. For one to attain their goals, it is important to remove this closet cremistic attitude. It should be replaced with a positive attitude towards whatever you want to achieve. You should always be an optimistic individual. Most of the people who are successful in business and in their personal lives are those who have buried the closet cremistic in them. When we all have these closets living within us, and most of us do not know how to get rid of them. If you have positive thoughts about something, then you will achieve that thing without any pressure. All your success comes from within. Your mind controls everything. And so your mind will come up with a solution to your problem, but then you must act upon it. You should also not have a mentality of giving up. Regardless of a magnitude of the problem that you are facing, you should not let it control your life. That problem should not stop you from achieving success. Failure is just a single step from your success. For one to be successful, you must go through some frustrations of failure. You are supposed to believe that you are going to make it always, and then work out it, putting in your efforts. Our brains stop working the minute we develop a negative attitude towards something. The minute you start to think that you have a solution to the problem, then your brain will start to work effectively. Many businesses fail due to closet premisticum. Students also fail because of that. If you believe somewhere deep inside that things are not going to work, then they are probably not. If you fail once, that does not mean that you are going to fail the next time. The only thing that we need to do is to put more effort in wanting to achieve something and looking for ways that we can help us to be successful in that area. This is one of my things. We may fail on a test, but that doesn't really mean that you fail, because you can always take it over again and again. Failure doesn't come until you quit. Never give up and never give in, because you are somebody that has been created to do great and mighty things. My name is Veronica Brooks, and you can reach me through www.veronicabrooks.com. Again, www.veronicabrooks.com. Thank you.
So basically, my name's Barbara Chandler. I'm based in the UK. I'm an educator. I'm a primary school teacher. I love education. I don't like all the administration that comes with it, but I do love being with the children and inspiring the children and working with them. And I get a sense of great satisfaction seeing children achieve what they need to achieve. The educational system is not necessarily designed to make the children that we want them for them to be the way we want them to be, basically. But as a teacher in my classroom, you know, I see all children, and I particularly love our children and try to promote our children to engage with the learning. At the stage that I am at is I work with the young children, and they're at a stage where they're learning to read and write. They come in not knowing anything. And it's amazing, within a year that they turn around and they're writing their names, they're counting, you know, to 100, they're learning their phonics and being able to leave reception class reading and writing. Now, I see some children that struggle, particularly Black boys, they struggle. And I've sort of thought, well, during COVID, I know phonics. I love phonics, and I want all our children to have the best opportunity to learn to read and write. And what I noticed that, you know, especially during COVID, we still had to go into the educational school. We still had to go into school. Some of the children were falling behind because obviously they didn't have that one-to-one class teaching. That it is different when you're being taught by your parents compared to being taught by a teacher. A teacher will push you and make sure that you achieve and make sure that you, if there's gaps, that they're pushing you. That's me. That's my type of education. That's what I do. And I know there are really great parents out there. And you do see the difference between children that are pushed and encouraged and children that are not. And perhaps their parent is leaving it, they're leaving it all to the school system, which is a shame because it does take partnership. And as Black parents, I just want us to know that
you are and they are a crucial role in their children's education, and even being late for school, missing school, not supporting them at home has a detrimental effect on their attainment. So I've decided during COVID to publish a book. I'm not sure if you can actually see it. It's a phonics book, basically. It's about encouraging the children to learn their phonics. I feel that children come in to reception class singing A, B, C, D, E, F, G. Well, really, I spent a whole year trying to teach them the sounds of the letters. So I'd like to encourage parents, you know, instead of just teaching their children to sing the ABC, the letter names, to sing the letter sounds. And so I've got a reggae artist to do a phonics song so children can join in. And then we produced a book as well. I don't know if you could see it. A book for children to...
If you keep it still, because it's disappearing with your background. So if you try and keep it still.
Sorry. Yeah. If I could share, you could
see
it.
Go and put it in front of you. Put it in front of you, so it's not.
Can you see it? There, that's it.
That's it. Yeah.
So it's a phonics book, and it's basically encouraging children to learn the sounds rather than just the letters. Because, as I said, as a teacher, I spent a whole year trying to teach them the sounds. If they'd learnt the sounds at home, they would be now then doing rhyming words, blending letters, and starting to read already. And you can see children that have been taught that they are ready to be reading. And so it's got lovely illustrations of Black people from history. It relates to them. It's connected to them. It looks like them. It represents them. It represents their culture. It represents who they are. And it has like Mansa Musa in there. It has Imhotep in there for I. So the letters relate to somebody significant. And it's basically for children, but also for parents to encourage them to see the importance of phonics, the importance of supporting their children in phonics and acquiring phonics in order to learn to read and then to write as well. So that's basically it. That's my passion, is encouraging our children to have a great opportunity of learning to read and write, because as adults that haven't achieved it, it's quite an embarrassing thing to know that you are illiterate. And also many of us, I mean, for me, for example, I'm a teacher, but I also have dyslexia. So these sort of things can support children at a very early age. Yep, so that is really it.
That's absolutely wonderful. Are you around on the 18th? Because I'd like to buy one, signed one. 18th. Oh no, you've got your weekend then, haven't you?
That's it. I'm away for the weekend. My other profession.
It'll have to be January, the 15th of January, Sunday the 15th of January.
Okay.
I'll be in touch.
That's fine. So yeah, that's my passion. It's a human right to be able to read and write, and so we want to make sure our children are at the top of the list of reading and writing, and we need to give them that opportunity and encourage parents, because parents sometimes are wondering, but what are they learning? What is this sounds? Why do they have to learn the sounds? So it's just to support parents as well as their children.
Okay, you said it comes with you've got with an artist. Does it have a CD with it?
It comes with I've actually put the music on YouTube, so people can access it on YouTube and on the website as well, the Alphabet Phonics website. So I can put that in for you. Yeah, there's two versions. There's a simpler version, and then there's a version that goes more into some of the characters in the story, and it's got two children at the front to kind of relate to that age group.
You'll have to put it down in front of you because it disappears with your background. If you put it down in front of you.
Shall I just I can share it.
Okay, lovely.
Where is it? Sorry, I was looking at holidays. that's the other thing that I do. Let me just, sorry, where is it? So that's the cover. Can you see it?
All right, yes.
So it's got
Lovely.
Cupid Queen, got lovely friendly characters, and there's cards to go with it. And as I said, there's a reggae CD to sing this, you know, so they learn to sing the sounds.
So the cards come separately, you purchase those separately?
Yes, you can do it as a pack.
Okay, lovely.
You can do it as a pack. And because the song's on YouTube and on the website, there's 2 versions. You can access it that way. I haven't thought of doing a CD. I don't know. What's your advice? Should I do a CD?
You could do, because as I said, I work in a nursery, so I'm just thinking that, you know, that will work well. It will work well. So yes.
Okay. Thank you for that advice then. Oops,
Yeah.
sorry. Stop share. That's it.
Yes, my name is Rotimi. I'm speaking to you from Nigeria. I'm a Nigerian based in Lagos. I had my first and second degree here in Nigeria. Several trainings in Europe, Asia, and America. And I'm a founder of a media house called Z2H Media and Z2H TV, where we create numerous contents from vox pops to skits, religious contents, and many more. Presently training over 80 undergraduates on how to create contents and the likes. But generally, we're into media, content creation, and entertainment. I'm also a movie producer. I'm partially a movie director. But today is about the books. 2 books. Tiny Mercies, Digital Affection, New Frontiers for Relationship. I'll take them one by one. I'll start with Digital Affection, the New Frontiers for Relationship. I was having a chat with some younger friends of mine concerning how people relate, how they meet each other, how they slide into DMs now, how they can fall in love with people without meeting them in person. So I started asking them, what do you guys know how it used to be done before the advent of internet and social media? And it was obvious they didn't know. And I had to think about how well can we document how we used to fall in love and communicate in the past, and how it is done now, and how we expect it to be in another 20 to 30 years. So we decided to look at how people used to write letters. In those days, write letters, mail them, and anxiously waiting for responses from your loved ones. That might take a week, 2 weeks, or more, depending on what region you send the letter is coming from. But if you send it from somewhere like Nigeria, it might take you about a month or thereabout to get your response. So I'm sure you must have lost hope. But the book explains how people fell in love, how they communicated before the digital era, and how we communicate now through different platforms, sliding into DMs, using Instagram, Twitters, and the likes to meet people, and the tricks by liking people's pictures and videos as a means of showing intention or catching attention of the owner of the platform. By so doing, you then begin to strike conversation, and all these different ways of communication now. We also had to look into how people used to be, should I say scared or ashamed of saying they met certain people online, and how it is now more pronounced, and people are no more ashamed of letting the world know, oh, I met him or her online and we are probably dating or getting married or thereabout. And people probably date for 2-3 years without even meeting themselves. We also went further to highlight what communication would be in the next 20-30 years, using artificial intelligence to pick or identify who you feel best suits your taste or your spec. And by so doing, picking right, or should I say choosing right. So digital affection in general is talking about communication love-wise before now, and the next 20-30 years, what love would be like. So it's a book for the young, old, and it's a book also for those who are finding love and are finding it hard to communicate or finding it hard to slide into DMs. This book highlights all what you need to do and all what you need to know. Digital affection, new frontiers for relationship. It's on Amazon. You can please check it out. That's one. The other one is Tiny Mercies. Tiny Mercies is a collection of poems. It uncovers the magic of the internet as an enabler for romance and relationships, which lies in the ability to transform technological chemistry into tangible emotions. In this same book, I addressed the existence and implication of finding love. Furthermore, Tiny Mercies is a chapbook born out of witnessing and hunger. In it, I meditated on love and the desire for country, people, and God. As Black people, we must always affiliate with God at all times. From the first poem, titled Heartbreak, with lines like, "For love, I stayed quiet, slept to the stings of burning bodies every day," to the last poem, titled Mistakes, where I took us into familiar, torturous terrains of family loving, with the lines, "Because you haven't lived tomorrow, it is easy to gallop to a shovel." I want to tell my son, for me, readers should expect an introduction to my history, religion, and longing, with a language that has been carefully unpicked with love and attention. So it's not just my story. It's a story that has to do with the world at large. I'm a writer who believes in bringing reality to books, from love to family stories, family realities, and these are put in these two books. Tiny Mercies, Digital Affection, New Frontiers for Relationship. You would not regret reading these books, and I appeal to us to check them out on Amazon. Thank you very much.
Hello. It's good to be here. Thank you for having me. A bit about myself. I'm Kate Awaku-Darko. I'm a person who is extremely passionate about the plight of the woman. Anything about women is very dear to my heart. I currently run a social enterprise that purchases raw materials from local women at above market prices. We convert it into luxury products, and then out of our profits, we give back to them. But more importantly, I realized that it's time to lend a voice to their struggles. It's time to lend a voice to our collective struggles and to begin to have conversations that are awkward to have and are commonly swept under the carpet in polite society. For the women here, we know that there are so many things that we go through and are not issues that can be readily addressed or spoken about. And so we kind of hide them. But then this book is kind of like shining a bright light in your eyes, in the eyes of everyone, and saying that these issues can no longer be hidden, they must be spoken about. So the title of my book is 7 Shredded Sisters. And basically, in the book, I dissect in a very emotive way these issues we're speaking about. One of them, for example, is female genital mutilation is still an issue. It's surprising to know, even as recent as 2022, girls in parts of northern Ghana are still being cut. I prefer to refer to it as filleting because that's actually what it is when you're cutting a person like a piece of meat. And so these issues need to be spoken about, as uncomfortable as it may be. I speak about the pain of loss. I speak about the throes of being in love. I speak about love spurned. And so when you read this book, I would say that you should read it with a cup of fine tea and some tissues. Expect a lot of abrupt endings, expect a lot of roundabout ways of addressing issues because, you know, sometimes our emotions are roundabout. They're actually not very straightforward and they're complicated. And so that's what this book is like. It's a collection of poems that would stir your emotions, sometimes leave you hanging, sometimes leave you with a smile, but forcing you and me and everyone to address these issues that need to be spoken about. So yeah, the book is available on Amazon and on Okada Books. And the title, as I mentioned, is 7 Shredded Sisters. Do take a read, and I'm sure you'll like it. Yeah.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. Have you got a copy of your book there that you can see so we can see the cover?
No, but I'll put the details in the chat box immediately.
All right. And to voice out as well again for those listening on Black Culture Radio. Voice out the contact details and the book and where people can get the book.
Yes, so I'll put in the chat box, but it's available for purchase on Amazon and on Okada Books. And then if anybody is somewhere in this part of the world in Ghana, do give me a call, send me a WhatsApp message. I'll be happy to meet up. My number is +233 264 069 365. There is so much.
Can you repeat it, please?
Okay. +233 264 069 365. It's time we tell our stories. It's time we shine light on these stories that our mothers and sisters in the villages cannot tell. And so, yeah.
Greetings, everyone. And I'm Sister Lejet. I am a bookseller, and I love coming on this webinar every month. It's such a pleasure to be online as well. So let me just say that the collaboration is absolutely fantastic, and I'm happy for both of you joining together. Right, I'm a bookseller, and my business is called Nubian Nigist Books, and I've been doing this for a number of years. My light bulb has gone on this side, don't worry with it. So what I wanted to concentrate on tonight was a little bit on Pan-Africanism, and how via Pan-Africanism we do for self. So some of the books, if you don't know much about Pan-Africanism, I have three books. You can read them separately, but this will really help you to get into what Pan-African is. And Pan means first, and African, as you know, some people call themselves Nubians as well. So, you know, we were the first people. So in saying that, the author who's done this trilogy is called Omowale Pert M. Heru, and his books are on African people abolish the slave trade, and the next one, Pan-Africanism, the Battlefront. African freedom means defeating neo-colonialism. Pan-Africanism, from program to philosophy, an outlook on liberation. These three books, he's also done some videos as well, which I will find and put into the chat. Also, it's a real good in-depth research on Pan-Africanism and how it's started from Sylvester Williams, then to the Honourable Marcus Mosiah Garvey, and it became a big movement, and it ended up in the UNIA, United Negro, oh gosh, my head is just gone. It's the UNIA, so I'm just going to put that in the chat. Can you, yeah, sorry, Sister Jean?
So it's
UNIA?
Improvement Association.
Improvement Negro Association, thank you. You see, I got my sisters with me, so that's always great. Well, yes, so that has been a very, very important journey for us, being out of Africa, in the African diaspora, and also in Africa, where they have several chapters, and in the Caribbean as well. So I'm not going to go into great detail about it. I just think that we should all do a little bit of research. And as I recommended, these three books. Now, I sell on Amazon, Nubian Nigist Books, and it's just been amazing how this book is the one that everybody's been purchasing at the moment. So I'm really, really pleased with that. And yes, I do cover my books because it keeps it clean and fresh. And some people got a condition, is OTT, whatever that is called. And also through Pan-Africanism, we also have an esteemed author. I talked about that last time, and his professor is Dr. Hakeem Addy, and he's actually written a book. He's one of our esteemed Pan-Africanist researchers, and his book is called The African and Caribbean People in Britain. And I went to the book launch last week, Thursday. It was absolutely fantastic, showing that we were here more than 100 years, and always referring to the Windrush era. And also another book that I wanted to introduce you to is this book called The Brutish museum. And what I do like about that, museum should give back our artifacts. So all of this all incorporates, it's like a circle where you have all these different bits to our sojourn. And one of our esteemed authors, researchers, historian, touch journalist, he's now an ancestor, and his name is Veronica Rashidi. And he done this book called My Global Journeys in Search of the African Presence. So we are literally all over the world, and he's actually given proof. There's others. So next time I will have more books on the Pan-Africanism. And it's just literally letting us be aware that we are all over the world. And this is just an example of him being in the different countries. And this particular one, I believe he's in Namibia as well. So, you know, in Namibia, they literally destroyed all of us original peoples as well. So 1 minute, my bookcase, I'm going to show off this evening. If you can see, that's just a fraction of what I've got. Just to finish off with another book of Veronica Rashidi's book. This one is called The Black Image in Antiquity. So when you're doing your research on Pan-Africanism, books like this helps as well as actual facts. You can actually see where our artifacts are, statues, etc., pottery, where it's come from. And this book is so great because he actually had taken the pictures himself. So he didn't have to ask nobody for any permission. I know it's a bit dark, family, but you know, forgive me for that. And also, I would just like to say, have I got enough time, Makonnen?
Yes, please go on. I'll let you know.
Oh, okay then. Right, wonderful. Yeah, this particular book, why I love it, it's actually got the information that is required to prove we are the first, and for our children to know who they are and have that pride and esteem, and for them to say, yes, I'm coming from great people. Another one. I shouldn't be showing you all this, you know. This is just a little treat. Okay, so as I said, Pan-Africanism is really important for our growth and for what we do. Now, this month here, we have a celebration that we, some still celebrate Christmas, so I'm not saying anything against that, but it's a celebration of Kwanzaa. And I thought this book is really great because it breaks down each day and what Kwanzaa means and who started Kwanzaa, and it gives information on Malana Karenga and how he devised Kwanzaa and how it's a celebration of the harvest. And it's a great time when we all get together and reflect and remember who we are, the originals, peoples of this planet. And each day, the first day, I'll just give you an example. This is the way how the book is. It shows you how to set out the symbols of Kwanzaa. And then the first day, which is Umoja, and it tells you what to do as well. So as I said, this is always, I love coming on this webinar and always been a brilliant time to share books that I've actually purchased, actually read, and also recommend. And yes, can you show the cover of the book again, please?
And
which
also
one?
the 3 books, they want to see the 3 books as well.
The 3 books. Okay, okay, I'll show the 3 books. And was that the last book that I had in my hand that they wanted to see again? Oh, that's better, family. So
yeah, that's much.
Yeah, that's much better. That one, which is the Pan-Africanism. This one is to do with the From Program to Philosophy, an Outlook on Liberation. And I'll put my details in because these 3 books, you can get it all together. And this one is The Battlefront, African Freedom Means Defeating Neocolonialism.
Okay, so you can buy them separately or together?
Or as a set, yes, as a set, yes. So African people abolish the slave trade. Each one is £10 each, but if you buy 3, you get the 3 for 25.
Okay, and Sister Mitch is asking about, what she just asked again. Yeah. The Kwanzaa, the author of the Kwanzaa book.
Oh, the author of the Kwanzaa book. This one is American, but it's by
The name is Black Book, yes.
Deanne Holt Goldsmith. I have several copies, so you can all you can contact me for this one. Okay, is that better? Can you see? A bit dark.
There's a slight reflection, but yeah, we can barely just see it. We can just see it.
And those 3 books, it's by Omowale Piet M. Haru. I'll put that in the chat. Okay. So sorry about the lighting.
That's okay. And also for the people who's listening on the radio, could you voice them out, please? Your contact details and where to get them.
Okay, contact details, Nubian Nigist Books, email nubiannigistbooks7@gmail.com, NUBIANNIGISTBOOKS7@gmail.com. My telephone number is 07309763377.
Thank you.
You're more than welcome.
Okay.
So keep up the good work. Yes, sorry, Makonnen.
No, I was just going to say that was Sister Lejet from Nubian Nigist Books, and just kind of conclude, thank you for your support as always, and being a sponsor from the Black Book Show. I think you, Jimmy Asher Foundation, I also want to give a shout out as well. He supported me from day one. Yeah. Joseph from Jimmy Asher Foundation, if he's listening. Oh, and I see you've got my 3 books in the background, but you haven't mentioned them, Sister Lejet. Right in the background, right there.
But you mentioned it already.
I didn't want to be, all right. I didn't want to be naughty, you see. So I wasn't sure if you was going to do it, Makonnen. May I?
Yes, you may.
Oh, thank you. Okay, this is Makonnen's first book, The Rise of Rastafari. And it's really a good book. If you want to know about Rastafarism and its history and how it all started and come together, this is the book. Then he did his trotting and he decided, well, I'm going to go to Africa. He went to Gambia, and the second book is called Life in Gambia, The Smiling Coast of Africa. They're such beautiful people, the Gambians. Oh, beautiful. I've not been there myself, but reading this book, I'm like, I want to book my plane fare to go and visit. And then the recent book is How to Market and Sell Your Book, A Guide for Beginners. Now, I'm a bookseller, and I found this really interesting because I haven't written the book at the moment. I just basically concentrate on selling the books. And I am speaking to authors, as my brother Makonnen said earlier on, authors. Some authors are publishers, and there are publishers on their own. So that's like a 3 area who I correspond with on a regular basis. So yes, these 3 are available from Makonnen, and also I sell these 3 as well. So I will put the information in the chat. And I am so sorry for the darkness, because I've got lights on the side of the wall and I didn't realize that this one had gone. So hopefully you could hear what I had said. You can see me with a little darkness in the background, but thank you again.
Okay, that was Sister Lejet from Nubian Nigist Books. Right, I'm now going to go back to Kate, because Kate has got a poem that she wants to read. So Kate, if you'd like to come back on the Black Book Show, please read the poem.
Okay. So one of the poems from the book, The 7 Shredded Sisters. Open, open, innocence broken on crumpled sheets, bandaged with a dying esteem. Her hiling eyes are downcast as the dusk fell on her soul. Her dignity rustled in the wind of desecration, her sanctuary breathing in flames, her gates plundered by plank protuberance, hymen rapture. She no longer sings. Her voice squeaks like a broken rickshaw as her smiles ebbed into numbness. She no longer sings. He bludgeoned her soul. No wasn't enough. No should be enough, methinks. But that day, like many other days for girls, no was not enough. She snapped under the weight of your stares. She snapped, lingering knots to cull the curiosities of your proselytizing gaze. She snapped. Thank you.
Wow, wonderful.
Thank you.
Thank
Can
you.
you just mention again in the title of the book for the people listening on the radio, the title of the book and where they can purchase it from?
Okay, so the title of the book is 7 Shredded Sisters, and it's available on Okada Books and on Amazon.
Author's name, for them looking at it, author's name?
Kate Apaflo, Awaku-Darko.
Okay, do you want to spell that?
K-A-T-E, Kate, then Apaflo, A-P-A-F-L-O, and then Awaku-Darko, A-W-U-K-U hyphen D-A-R-K-O. Kate Apaflo, Awaku-Darko. 7 Shredded Sisters.
Okay, thank you very much. Is there anything else you just wanted to add before we go?
I wanted to add that everyone should get a copy, should read it. Okay. Yeah.
What you can also do is put your links again, if you haven't already, put it again in the Zoom chat, because there people may have been inspired to get a copy after hearing that the poem. So you can please leave your details in the chat again and repost it.
All right, Chloe.
Okay, next author. I just want to check, is Mark here? Is Mark on the platform? Mark Ogbibor. If you are here, just let it be known. Otherwise, I'm going to go to Mary L. Beal. I haven't seen Mark on there. So Mark, if you're on the platform, let me know. Otherwise, Mary L. Beal. Mary L. Beal, she's been on the Black Book Show already. She's the author of the book called How to Live Well Past 100 Years. So Mary L. Beal, if you'd like to start by introducing yourself, telling us where you're based, and then go on to talk about your books, please.
Good afternoon or good evening, everyone. Makonnen, it's a pleasure to be back with you again.
Evening.
Good evening. And Auntie Jean, thank you all for having me.
You're welcome.
Before I am from Cordele, Georgia. I am semi-retired, you never retire when you have work to do. So I have plenty of work to do. And I have written 3 books and I have contributed to 2 anthologies. So I'm just going to introduce you to those before I go into How to Live Well Past 100 Years. My first book, I have written a 3rd edition on it, and I'm going to show it. I'm going to try to show it. I hope you can see it. Are you able to see this book cover?
Just raise it up a little.
Can you see it now?
Yes.
Hello?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't want to say anything because when you speak, I haven't put you on hang on a minute, let me just put you on spotlight so that way when anybody speaks, it doesn't interfere.
Okay.
Okay, just a sec. All
Yeah, we
right.
can all see
Yeah,
it
okay.
can
now.
you see it now? Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, this book was written in honor of my mother, who lived to be 101 years old and 7 months. But the book was written
Wow.
while she was still alive. It was at the press when she transitioned.
Okay.
But the title of the book, A Force to Reckon With, it documents her first 100 years on Earth. And she had so much knowledge and so much information that I wanted to share, not only with her descendants, but with the world, to what kind of mother, what kind of person she was. And that's what this book is about. When I say she was a force to reckon with, you have to read the book to find out, and I'll tell you where you can get them all. But this is the 3rd edition. This is the latest updated version. Following that, since she was still alive, during the time I was taking care of her in the last few months, she asked me this question. She said, help me cross over from earth to heaven. I responded to her that I've never done that, and I'm sure the Holy Spirit will assist me when time comes. And he did. But the title, she asked that question, so I titled the book by her question, Help Me Cross Over from Earth to Heaven. This documents her transition, which was a miracle, and I'll talk about that later in another time. Then I was asked to participate in an anthology, and this is the anthology, Achieving Results. So I was a contributing author to this book. My next book is the book that we're going to be talking about, but before that, I'd like to share with you the latest anthology that I participated in, and this just came off the press last month. And the title of it is Unknown. Book was the authors are veterans or active duty military, because I spent 27 years with the U.S. Department of Defense as a civilian. I was asked to contribute because of my knowledge and experience of working within the Department of Defense. And that's just one chapter in there by me. Now for the book of the hour, this book was developed as a result of friendship with this centenarian. During COVID, I happened to go by to do a welfare check on her. And so we developed a close friendship because she was somewhat dehydrated one day that I went by there with her. So I stayed with her longer to make sure she was okay. And then we developed a friendship. Now, she had been a friend of the family for over 80 years, but because of COVID, people were not visiting the elderly. They could not get out. Her thing was that her social life was going to church and interacting with people of God, and COVID put a hamper on that. So I was able to go to her home and visit with her to share online Bible study with her, and just to run errands for her when she needed. And in the process, one afternoon, we were sitting on her front porch, and I said, Mother Shazer, what can I do for you? And then she started asking me questions about who we do in common. Of course, she knew my mother. But then she said one name, I said, which was her cousin Lucille, by the same name. She said, you know, Lucille is my cousin. I said, well, that was my mother's best friend. And I said, Aunt Lucille, as we called her, is, there's a picture of her in the book that I wrote about mother. I didn't have the book on me. She said, I want to see that. So I went to my house and got the book. And she was flipping through the book, reading. And then she said, as she was seeing pictures of people that she recognized. So she said, I said, would you like for me to write a book about you? She said, well, what would you have to say about me? Mind you, she was 107 years old with a very sharp mind at this time. So I said, well, I don't have to look too far. And she started to talk about her childhood, that her mother had died when she was a toddler, and that she was raised by her great aunt. So we started off doing an interview. She didn't realize I was doing an interview, but I started writing down because she was so sharp mentally and her recall was so great. So I said, I can't let this chance to document history escape me. So we started. We traveled to her adopted hometown to validate certain information. And I was so taken aback by her memory that she knew exactly. In one instance, she said, as we drove to this small town, she said, the church that I attended was about 4 miles from the town. As I put the odometer on to check the mileage, it was 4.1 miles. That's how sharp her memory was. But anyway, I just want to share with you a little bit from the book. I'm not going to read the whole book, but I want to share with you one thing. As I told you, she was a friend, and there was a poem about the miracle of friendship. And I'm going to read this to you, and it's in the book. It says, there's a miracle of friendship that dwells within the heart, and you don't know how it happens or where it gets its start. But the happiness it brings you always gives a special lift. And you realize that friendship is God's most precious gift, author unknown. That's the way I felt. And I believe she felt the same way with me, because in the fall of 2021, she was placed on hospice at the age of 108. And her niece, who had been staying with her, decided she no longer lived there. So that meant Mother Shazer would have been living alone, and social welfare said she could not live alone. And I said, Mother, you can't stay here. She said, why? The government's going to tell me I can't stay in my own home. I said, Mother, they're concerned for your welfare. And, you know, that will be considered cruel to leave you here alone, unattended. She said, well, I don't want to do that. She said, Mary, would you take me to my sons in Atlanta? I said, Mother, if that's where you want to go, I will take you. I will drive you there. So I drove her to Atlanta to her son's place. She stayed there for 2 weeks. She had her granddaughter call me. She says, Mary, I want to come back home. I said, well, you know, you can't live by yourself. If you come back home, you're going to have to stay with me or someone else. So the day after Thanksgiving in 2021, her granddaughter called me and says, Mary, I'm bringing grandmama, or they call her Big Mama. I'm bringing Big Mama back to Cordeal, and she's agreed to come to your house and stay with you. So from November of 2021 until she transitioned to be with the Lord in May of this year, she came here and lived at our home. And that is the power of friendship. And I just wanted to share that with you.
Wow. Wow. Do you want to repeat where we can get your books from?
Yes, the book is on Amazon. Yes, the book is on Amazon. Mary Beal. The title of the book, as you know, and the subtitle is That Same Jesus. Also, all the other books are on Amazon, and you can find them on my website, except for the latest book. I have not posted that on my website yet, Unknown Battlefields. My website is, I'll post it in the chat, but it's for those who are on the radio. My website is ML Beal, B-E-A-L, Consulting, ConsultingLLC.com. And as I said again, it's on Amazon.com.
Thank you.
Yes, yes. Blessings to Auntie Jean, blessings to Makonnen, you know, one love, shalom, hotep, and everything like that. I'm from South London, Croydon. I'm a member of the Rastafari Movement UK. I'm a consultant. I'm also an author of the book Parallel. I'm a member of the Ethiopian World Federation, which is a non-religious organization for all Black people. And I've also created a cartoon which should be shown on Rastafari TV website very shortly. Yes, sir. I'm going to share a few stuff in the chat so that it's more clear. Let me just paste, bear with me, please. Copy. So then that's me there. So my name is Akilo Kadani. Akilo is basically means crown in Ethiopian. It's my baptismal name. Kadan means covenant. So my name is Crown of the Covenant. That's my Ethiopian baptismal name. And the book Parallels is basically about His Imperial Majesty. And but each chapter is different. Each chapter has its own, obviously, focus point. So the main focus points I want to focus on right now is modern affairs, media, and there may be a few more other ones, but maybe modern affairs and media for now. And Ethiopia, the Holy Land. Reason being, I would say, let me just get back to the thingy now. Okay, I can see myself. So if you look in the background, you can see that's my book there, the black in the middle, the white on each side, and the gold writing. Black, you know, because the base, that's the beginning, that's the nucleus, that's how we will start with the melanin, the carbon. The white is the illumination, the light, you know, we turn the light. And then the gold is, there's always that golden line in there, that level of optimism. So yeah, I wrote a book about His Imperial Majesty, but it's not only about His Imperial Majesty, it's about many other prophets and anointed ones, such as, you know, Ben Amin, Yahweh Ben Yahweh, Honorable Marcus Garvey, you know, and one of the things that I feel like I wanted to inspire the people to do is to emancipate their minds, because His Imperial Majesty, from my perspective, he didn't come as, you know, Yeshua HaMashiach, the Christ came. He came as an example for us to know how to save ourselves, how to do for ourselves, you know, by starting organizations, by actually creating things and centralizing and focusing on economics and politics, you know. So within the modern affairs section, I don't want to say too much, but I actually want the people to actually buy it and read it. It's a very small book, so you can read it in a short amount of time. In the modern affairs section, it will be talking about Kwame Nkrumah, which is one of the most powerful African leaders in around in like the 1960s, around that sort of era, you know, with the OAU, Kwame Nkrumah, and then on the right side, which would be of the East, which His Imperial Majesty, which is another powerful African leader of the OAU. Talking about those two and their strong relationship, you know, and their unity and their amity. Also Jomo Kenyatta, also his significance and his role within the situation. And then within the modern affairs, it's focusing on the actual Horn of Ethiopia, because we know Africa at one stage had many different names: Alkebulan, Ethiopia, Africa, so forth, and Zox and Sire, so forth and so on. But the Horn of Africa, there was a lot of internal strifes, you know, in terms of the bloodline and stuff like that. So His Imperial Majesty had issues even with his own cousins, you know, and whatnot. So what I do is I parallel that with the scriptures, and the reasons why I use the scriptures is because legally speaking, like whenever you want to generally present a case, you would support it by some form of what would be regarded as a sacred book. You know, in the Western world, there'll be either the Quran or the Bible, which are obviously Eastern books anyway. So a lot of the stuff will be referenced by ancient biblical books, and then connected to the modern things such as that. So Elijias's relationship with His Imperial Majesty will connect with Jacob and Esau, and also Ishmael and Isaac. So what I'm trying to do is try to create that unity between brotherhood, that unity between sisterhood, and that, like how it was in Kemet, the Trinity with the Father, the Mother, and the child. Trying to create that Trinity by showing the flaws of our ancestors and the strengths of our ancestors, so that we can emulate the strengths and disregard the flaws. That's one of the things I wanted to do. But when I talk about Haile Selassie, I'm not simply talking about the man. Even if we study like electronics, there's something called the power triangle, and so the Trinity is like past, present, and future. It's like it's just something that it's within all of I and I. So when we say Haile Selassie, I'm not talking literally just about Rastafari Makonnen or Rastafari Makonnen or Nagos. What we're trying to say is that you are divine, male, female, young or old are divine, and the proof of your divinity is the fact that we're all here together right now at this moment, speaking from Ghana, from England, from wherever, and speaking about things that we have manifested from our minds, So that's the main thing. In terms of the media section, the media will be talking about films that actually talk about His Imperial Majesty, so films that have that Denzel Washington in it, that will talk about Mussolini and the Bible, to show that these quote unquote high up people or these elite people are aware of the same thing that we are aware of. Therefore, I believe that it's necessary for us to have the same level of economic freedom that they have, because we are boldly saying what they are subtly saying. So in a nutshell, that is what Parallel is about. Yes. Is it on mute?
Yeah. Oh. Thank you very much. Yeah, Russ, Akilo Kadani. When you ended there, I wasn't expecting you to fully end. I thought you were still going to go on and say something. So, but I see. That's fine. That's fine. If you want to conclude there, that's fine. Let people know anyway how they can get the book, how they can get in touch with you. You mentioned that again.
Yeah. So everything I'll put onto the chat. So you can have contact me through WhatsApp, which my number will be there. You contact me through TikTok, which will have information about things that are to do with Rastafari or just Black empowerment things or indigenous things. Or you can contact me via, I'll say that those two are the main two. Those two are the main two, yes. So as I said before, title and name, Ras Akilo Kadani or Akilo Kadani. Book is called Parallel, that is PARALLEL on Amazon. You have a Kindle version, you have an audiobook version, you have a paperback version. You can contact me on TikTok, which is Akilo Kadani. The WhatsApp is 078 67973027. And I've created a free series cartoon with a few other Rastafari individuals, which was on Instagram and soon should be on Rastafari TV, called Brown Condor, the Flying Hero, which is about a pilot that which is from America, but he became a colonel in Ethiopia during World War II. Yes, and also in terms of the Rastafari movement, UK works as a consultant. I've done something called the 7 Steps of Wellbeing, myself and a few of the elders. We worked with NHS and we spoke about ways that we can actually become healthy, not just mentally, not just spiritually, but from a wholesome perspective, following people like Dr. Sebi and Dr. Kalesh, Priest Kalesh.
Yep, thank you very much.
Terrific. Okay, it's as I said, it's an honor to be here today. Some great book authors and storytellers, and so I've been I'm in Toronto, Canada, and I service the digital space for some time now in a variety of ways, and through my various digital services, websites, marketing, etc. And launched my book publishing company, as well as published 4 books in the last year. My book publishing company is called Truth Communications. And I'm going to, give me a second, I'm just going to share the screen so that I have the sharing ability, right, Makonnen? Just want to confirm that?
Yes, you do. I've enabled you to do screen share, so you can do it.
Okay. Great. So let me just share my screen. Okay, so while it's coming up on the screen, Truth Communications is actually an acronym that stands for Trusting Righteousness Under the Heavens. And the organization was sort of downloaded to me, if you will, divinely in my mind, downloaded to me several years ago. And as I said, trusting righteousness under the heavens is strongly part of my faith. And the digital space was, at the time, was really not as obviously what it is now. And so the focus of the organization, which I built it around, was about the digital space, providing services in the digital space, providing this support in the digital space for book publishing. And so anyway, at the time, we launched a magazine called Worship 423, which was a magazine that was first of its kind with the creative arts and worship. And it was a 32-page high gloss magazine under the publishing company of Truth Communications. And so at that time, I had this grandiose idea that, okay, not only did we do print, but we'll also do a virtual copy. And now, of course, virtual is and flip pages and so on is very common. But at the time, it wasn't. And so I had created this this tool to display the magazine online and allow people to essentially, no matter where they are in the world, to flip through it and virtually have an experience of that. So that's the premise in which the company was built, was that it would be print is a print on demand, as we're all familiar with various platforms like Amazon and those that do that. But we're different in the sense of a traditional company in that we provide services to walk you through the process as it relates to your books. Now, as it relates to your books and ownership and all the rights and so on, we work with you and you maintain those rights. What we're doing is similar to self-publishing. What we're doing is really branding you and helping you to walk through the various stages and steps. And now I'm going to share the screen here, and you can see what I mean on the website, which I'll provide that link also for you to be able to view that. So you can go to truthcommunications.org, which should come up on your screen shortly. And we're about honesty, integrity, and excellence. And the organization is founded on those premises. And we help you with various stages of the publishing process to ensure that you have a seamless experience that is first rate when it comes to your final product. And so all the digital assets, we work with you to create and then provide those to you so that you can then take that and publish your book. And we'll help you publish it on not only Amazon, but various other platforms also too. This is the process that we we kind of laid out. Similar, obviously, in terms of the process you go through with other publishers. But there's a few things here that how we distinguish ourselves. And so we start with an author who has a completed manuscript, okay, and title. And we'll work with you to bring it into our engine, if you will. And into that engine, we'll create the ISBN for you. We will register it. We'll create a cover design. If you want multiple covers, we'll work with you on those various aspects of it. We go through the entire process whereby you prove each step before we move into the next one. And so book proofing and editing, creating your layout and design, and then pricing and then publishing, and of course promoting and marketing. And that's a package in itself. Where I have another company called 2020 Insight Consulting, where we do all the digital marketing and digital services to get you on the various platforms and to get you into as many eyes as possible. Not only some of these virtual launches, which what's happening on these types of platforms is tremendous, and what Makonnen and Auntie Jean has been able to do over the last few years is incredible globally. And so we work with these kinds of platforms to be able to get the attention that you need, and not only attention but sales. And we obviously you want to celebrate that great work that you've accomplished. And so this is and also too, we make sure that if your book has illustrations or images, that they're licensed images, that you don't run into any issues later on after your book's been published. So we'll take care of all that for you. We work through with a licensed library of images and illustrators that you own the rights of those. So we're very sensitive with those types of things. All right. So anyway, so this is just some of the examples, and I'll just show you just quickly kind of we've published 4 books over the last year, including mine, which actually was just hot off the press, literally. I shared my book live last month, and it is now official that it's on Amazon and on multiple platforms, including Apple and Kobo and various others. But this is just a sneak peek of some of the books that we have published. There is you may not be able to see the full screen here, but this was the magazine that we published just to say many years ago. This book here is a book that we published, a legacy book, where there was a lady who wanted to honor her father. And by telling his story, his journey, which I've heard many of you already talked about, how you honor, someone that you want to share their legacy through books and so on. So I call that legacy stories. And so that experience of working with the author to bring that to life, and that's our theme, and our tagline is bringing your dream to life. And so from that, it takes you to. It takes you to just show you, these are some of the books here, as I said, three of the 4 books we published. And I'll close off in a few minutes with my book. I'll take you through kind of, because I do have a special offer that I want to give you at the end of the session here. But just to go back to the publishing company, one of the things that makes us unique, I'm going to just bring this up just to show you. One of the things that sets us apart, let me stop sharing, then I'll bring that new share up, is that we focus on that digital experience. And that digital experience is, similar to, the Kindle experience or any other digital platform. But one of the things that we do differently, and I'll show you, let me just bring up the flip book, and then I will take you through the books that is currently in distribution. So my computer is just a little slow acting up here. So one of the things that we do is I have a digital platform whereby anyone who works with us, their book gets placed on that platform. And so that platform is an experiential platform, whereby when you do your digital flip, essentially what you're doing is you're doing a virtual walkthrough of the book, but it's very interactive. So not only are you flipping through the book in the sense that it's a digital walkthrough of the flip pages, but also too, I can add audio, we can add video. So, and I'll just show you that. So for example, many of the stories that are being told today, as just an example, we capture that on video. And so when you open the book, one of the things that you're going to get is that experience of the author speaking about the book, how the book came to be, the story, the backstory, in other words, behind that. And that is incredibly important, because that's part of your marketing strategy, and that's part of how you sell your book. And so what we want to do is we differentiate ourselves by capturing those stories and putting that on the inside cover of the digital book. So when you go online I'm just bringing that up here. When you go online as a part of our platform.
Wayne, I'm just letting you know you've just got a couple of minutes to wrap it up.
That's fine, yeah. When you go online to experience that, you're essentially experiencing the flip book with the video embedded in it. And so here it is here. I'll just bring this up now. Okay. Okay, all right. And allow me to share the screen. And what I'm sharing is my book, which is called Reclaim Your Digital Gold. And I'm going to give each of you, the ability to have the free download version on Amazon of this version. Sale ends today. I'm just walking through my book here, but I didn't turn the audio on, but this actually has an audio built in. You can hear the audio being read.
In loving memory.
And
Steve, my brother.
The other thing too is that as you go through the pages, you flip through the pages of this, you're hearing not only the audio, but you're also experiencing the video of the backstory. And so this is an area here where we can
Reclaim your digital
input
gold.
your backstory so that you have the ability to be able to share that with the world. And so anyway, so this is my book, Reclaiming Digital Gold. It's about your privacy and your data and how important it is and how valuable it is and how it's actually transforming the world. So what I want to do today in closing, I'll put my information in the chat, but I want to give each of you the ability to be able to have a free copy of the ebook of this book, over 200 pages of information about the various areas of data as it relates to data and how our data is being used to transform the world and business. Here's a quick peek at the table of contents. Data, information, how it's being collected, privacy, what's the new economy, social media. Our data is gold. And that's really what this is all about here. And we get into talk about social platforms, monetizing your data, NFTs and blockchains and so on and so forth. All of that is being underpinned by data and of course, the web. So I'm going to put in the chat a link that you can get access to the ebook for today, okay, for free. And you can peruse it. And I would just like if you can, give an honest review after you've had a chance to review it. But this is just a product of what we've created, and we'd love to work closely with anyone who has further books that they want to publish, or they know of someone that would like to be published. All right, so I'll put that in the chat, and I'll put all my contact information in there. You can reach me. That's it. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Also, could you speak it out for those listening on Black Culture Radio?
Absolutely.
For details.
So the company name is Truth Communications Media and Marketing. And you can actually find us on truthcommunications.org, truthcommunications with an S.org. You can reach me directly at wayne@truthcommunications.org. And the book that I'm putting in the chat that you can have access to is called Reclaim Your Digital Gold. And that website for that is reclaimyourdigitalgold.com. Okay, so let me put this in the chat now. And again, you can go directly to Amazon and get your free ebook version. The sale ends today.
Okay, thank you very much. That's Wayne Hynes. Now I'm going to go on to our next author. Our next author, Taiwo. Taiwo, he's author of the book called Lagos is Killing Me, and he's been on the Black Books show previously as well. So Taiwo, if you'd like to please come on, tell us where you're based, introduce yourself, and then go on to talk about your book.
All right. Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
All right, so my name is Taiwo Oloyede Michael. I'm a poet, I'm a writer, I'm a playwright. I do a whole lot of stuff. But for tonight, I'm just talking about my book, Lagos is Killing Me. It's been out there for a long time, published 2021, and it's been making rapid sales. And you will get to learn about a whole lot of stuff. Sorry, I'm based in UK, so it's quite cold tonight, but it's all good. So my book, Lagos is Killing Me, in case you've not seen it, This is it. There's a book. So you can get it anywhere in the world. It actually explores different things. The theme of sadness, maladministration, rape against women, hope, bad politicians, bad administration, and then racism. In the poem, I dealt with Blacks extolling whatever invention has been brought to them beyond what they think they can actually invent, which is some form of cognitive dissonance, which we need to explore and expunge from our repertoire of inclination. So we need to understand all these parts, and then we should know that in as much as we are not united as Blacks, we will always be trampled on. In one of the poems, I wrote, "Tell the white man that the Black man will make your dreams work." And that was actually to tell the Black man that whatever the whites are shipping to your shore is not to safeguard you, it is to nip you in the bud. You know, they sell you scientific gadgets and you think they are to protect you, the GPS and everything. No, it's actually to survey your ground, to know where you are. So if push comes to shove and they decide to detonate you, they know exactly where to get you, the way they did to Gaddafi of Libya. And they celebrated. And now the same Libya they were trying to protect is now the hub of thieves and scoundrels and then wicked souls, you know. Now people are being trafficked, you know, all around Libya. So I write against this. I'm a Pan-Africanist. I believe in the future of Africa. I am Afro-futuristic. I believe we should all speak and, you know, collaborate to extol the dignity and the virtue and the sagacity of the African race. We should actually leave our own footprints and remind the world that we are actually the source of civilization. We started it all and we'll keep it flying. And now that Morocco is in the semi-final of the World Cup, I'm very, very happy. A new statement is about to be written on the sands of time. And I hope they win. I hope they move to the final and probably even win the cup, you know, just to rewrite history, you know, all the limitations, we need to burn the bridges of those limitations. Well, and then most importantly, I want to say Lagos is killing me explores bad governance. I think the only trouble of the Black man is a system and style of governance, and the fact that he always tries to supplant his own brother. That's the only issue that the Blacks are actually, you know, facing. We don't understand distribution. What we just think is collation, accumulation. If a Black man can move from that mentality of accumulation to distribution, then our lands are going to be better. Our streets are going to be fixed. Everything's going to be better. You know, we actually develop at a very rapid pace. You know, when we have the best of our minds, leaving our own shores, you know, to other lands, you know, becoming probably second-class citizens or obtaining Fox citizenship, you know, that give you some sort of ego, you know. And I learned even America is a very funny place where the Blacks don't identify as black. They identify as American Black. I just see them as clowns. They should go and read their history, you know. And my sister was talking about Edmund Marcus Garvey, Universal Negro Improvements, you know, Association. It did a whole lot, you know, to ensure that Black folks, you know, are actually doing well in his days and time. And that's what we should all be. We should all be Pan-Africanists. We should all be, you know, there should be Black civism everywhere in the world, where once you see your Black brother, you're willing and, you know, you can't just wait for him to rise at all costs. You know, you push him forward at all costs, you know, not the crab mentality of, you know, just bringing down our own Black brothers, you know. How many Black books have been the bestsellers all over the world? You know, how many? They're countable. We don't want those, we don't want exceptional books. We want all Black books to be exceptional. You just want 1 in a billion books being, you know, bestseller of the year and things like that. You know, anytime I speak about Africa, there's a rage in me. You know, there's a tempest in my soul every time I speak about Africa, because she's bleeding, she's crying, she's hanging on a twig, trying to twist, but she can't. You know, she's just crying for our children. As Diop will put it, Africa, my Africa, Africa of proud warriors in their ancestral savannah, Africa of whom my grandmother sings on the bank of the distant river. I have never known you, but your black blood flows in my vein. We should understand that we have a black blood, though invisible, but it flows in our vein. And it's the blood of our sweat, the sweat of our works, the work of our slavery, the slavery of our children. Let's get that. You know, if we're going to leave a generation that is going to be free from stigma of being, you know, pigmented or coloration, then we must be ready to actually collaborate and then dive into how to make sure, you know, Africa does well. I respect everybody in the house. So thank you for coming to my TED Talk. Sankofa, great job you're doing. So you can get my book on Amazon. You can get it on Okada Books, anywhere books are sold. You know, somebody was in Nigeria recently and he went to a bookshop and he was able to get it. Also in America, I think some people bought in America, Canada, anywhere books are sold. Thank you for the platform. Thank you for what you do. So with this viewpoint of mine, I have some works that are coming, but I know they will come speedily. With this viewpoint of mine, I would like to rest my case. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. So that was Taiwo, author of the book Lagos is Killing Me.
All right, so my name is Mukama Goldston, and I am the author of, I can't figure out how to share right now, so we're gonna keep moving. I'm the author of Epically Awesome, How to Embrace Your Authentic Self. Yes, this book was, it's the beginning of my written legacy of healing that I share with the world. It is a self-healing book. It reveals who I am and what I am, and a lot of techniques that I have used along my journey and helping people heal. And it is a gift to all those who touch it. It has been prayed upon and gifted with so much light. It is specifically for parents or adults. If you are a parent, then it is a good idea that you read the book, because it allows you to either release judgment, hardships, or pain that you have in your parenting style. Or if you're a human being and you have parents, then you have a story that go along with the parenting of your parents or the lack of parenting. We all carry these stories inside of us, so it allows us to free ourselves of stories. There's so much wrapped up in our stories. So when we unpack our stories, it gives us a new chance to look at the gems.
Is it really snowy now?
It gives us the gems that are in our traumas, and it offers us an opportunity to transform our lives. Okay. If you're looking for more from me, you can find me at www.epically, EPICALLY, awesome, AWESOME, today, TODAY.com. Or you can check me out at Healing to Win on IG. And in the IG, there's a link tree that you hit in my bio, and you'll have all of my information. So for the IG, it's going to be at Healing, HEALING, 2 WIN. If you looked in the chat and there's the QR code, just go ahead and pull it up and go ahead and get that, so you can get the information as we're talking, as I'm sharing. The book is guided to you for the reader to go within and recognize the beauty, the strength, the love, the joy that's already inside of each of us. We are so blessed beyond measure. And a lot of times we get stuck in our traumas. no matter what those traumas are. They can be a trauma being Black and having a quote unquote Black experience. It can actually be any kind of abuse or assault. You can follow me at www.epically, EPICALLY, awesome, AWESOME, today, TODAY.com.
Okay.
The title to the book is Epically Awesome Today.
Wonderful.
No, it's not. Excuse me. The title of the book is Epically Awesome: How to Embrace Your Authentic Self.
Okay, thank you very much. It's been another great Black Book Show. I would just like, to thank all the authors that have contributed on this particular episode of the Black Book Show. It is going to be shared on YouTube, on P English Literature YouTube channel. So look out, authors, look out for the video. I will share the links as soon as it's available with you. I'd just like to remind everyone at this point to please join the Black Book Show Facebook group if you haven't already. So to do that, simply just go on Facebook if you're on Facebook and type the Black Book Shows, and then join the Facebook group. That's the best place to be kept up to date with the latest information that's going out. So you'll be kept up to date, when current events are happening, information about authors, and you'll also be kept up to date, not just the virtual book tour, but I've also got a radio show and podcast. And I would like to invite authors, if you're interested in featuring on the virtual book tour or the radio show and podcast. I mentioned earlier, many of the authors that you've heard have already featured on my radio show and podcast, or they will be about to feature on the radio show and podcast soon. Please get in touch with me if you'd like to feature at one of my upcoming Black Book Show events. To contact me, it's info@blackbookshows.com. So that's info@blackbookshows.com, and that's the best way to get in touch with me. So I would just like to remind everyone as well, the Black Book Show, the next edition is going to be on Sunday, the 29th of January. So I hope you can all make it. Sunday, 29th of January, here at Auntie Jean's Market, and that's going to be between 7 and 10 p.m. And I hope that you can all make it as well. Information will be going out on my mailing list and also within Auntie Jean's network as well. So yeah, Sunday the 29th of January, put that date in your diary as well. But I'd just also like to thank everyone who's attended. We've still got 62 participants on the show. So at this point, I'm just going to say good evening, everyone, or good afternoon, wherever you are. And I'm just going to conclude with the Black Book Show. I would just like to say the Black Book Show is ending now. Please, whoever's not on mute, please can you mute yourself? The Black Book Show is concluding now. However, if you do want to stay on to the Auntie Jean's African Culture Market, I know she has got more coming up this evening as well. So this is the end of the Black Book Show, but feel free to stay on the African Culture Market with Auntie Jean for the remainder of the evening if you wish to. So I'd just like to say goodbye now.
Bye, Makonnen.